I'm reading some more from a new Jesuit website, orderofthejesuits.com/wiki, wiki/index.php?TITL. This is regarding their underwater city. After the destruction of our main facility, that's because Vladimir Putin nuked it, and that's because they were going to build a great army to start a nuclear holocaust. We had no choice. We are reassigning illicit research scientists to other facilities. Yeah, we are aware that they have other underwater cities. We did brain scans of Jesuits who surrendered to us, and they have quite a network of underwater cities. Gail Chord is a murderer, and we must never forget what she has done. Over 1 million clones were destroyed, dead babies. And you guys are we're planning on using those clones to build a nuclear army. An army to start a nuclear holocaust. And you're going to get on me about being a murderer? Oh boy. Boy, are you going to have some explaining to do to God Almighty. The underwater city, also known as Underwater Facility Number 18, is but one of the many cities in our underwater network that allow us to conduct experiments outside the boundaries of the International War Crimes Tribunal. Yeah, why do you have to conduct experiments outside of the International War Crimes Tribunal, Jesuits? It's because you're up to no good, that's why. Experimental science like cloning, thought control, germ warfare, and others were conducted here. The main focus on this facility is birth, when Project Turquoise began in 1948, the main nursery was built. The capacity of the initial nursery was low, but clones do not require human contact for bonds like natural children. We were able to create a factory farm situation where children were more tightly packed. You guys are disgusting. If you want to know what God thinks of your clone, go to Isaiah 57:9 and also in the book of Nahum. It's just, yeah. I'm going to read you something. Hold on. To create clones, you have to use messenger RNA and nucleotide bases, okay? Isaiah 57:9. I'm going to read it. By the way, my birthday is September 15, 1957. And thou wentest to the king with ointment, and didst increase thy perfumes, and didst send thy messengers like messenger RNA far off, and didst debase thyself even unto hell. That's God's opinion of your cloning activities, Des. Let's go to the book of Nahum. Oh, by the way, God's going to put an end to it eventually. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like it that you're playing God and trying to. Nahum 2:13. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off thy prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messengers, that's messenger RNA, you're cloning, the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. God's going to put a stop to it. God doesn't like what you're doing, Jesuits. Let's continue. The underwater lab experiments proved highly useful. Here is Barnacus. I don't know Roman numerals. 11V at his lab, creating the first strain of allergenic charcoal. Anyways, this is all at this website. Here he perfected thought control in lower animals as well as human clones. Brain-to-brain communication experiments. Click here. I think I already got this one. Well, they claim that one of their past targets, or one of their, let's go to their targets. Their target list includes Gail Chord, Brent Spiner, Vladimir Putin, Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Jackman, Gerard Butler, Keith Morgan, Chinese President Hu Jintao, and Rupert Murdoch. And this was not mentioned on the other site. Former targets, Billy Mays, Princess Diana, Michael Jackson, and Katherine the Great. I'm going to read you what they say about Katherine the Great. Katherine the Great. Some of our lies and rumors were loosely based on true events, others were completely false. The palace intrigue of her son Paul I of Russia was a fertile ground for such rumors. This allowed us to debase the memory of Katherine the Great as a whore and zoophile. Lies are one of our greatest tools, yeah, don't we know, and must be wielded by the tempered hand. Katherine the Great's lust for horses. A common story states that she died as a result of her voracious sexual appetite while attempting sexual intercourse with a stallion. The story holds that the harness holding the horse above her broke and she was crushed. Katherine the Great, that isn't true, by the way. Katherine the Great assassinated on the toilet. This tale was widely circulated and even jokingly referred to by Alexander Pushkin in one of his untitled poems, and I can't read Russian. Literal translation: decreed the orders, burned the fleets, and died boarding a vessel. The last line can also be translated as and died sitting down on the toilet. There existed also a version on alleged assassination by spring blades hidden in a toilet seat. This rumor is true, and it was a Jesuit assassination to destroy Katherine and was successful. The formal story is that she died of stroke. To be honest with you, maybe they did assassinate her. If so, they didn't get her till she was about the time to die anyway. She lived to a pretty good age. But let's go here. Katherine the Great whore. Rumors of her private life had a large basis in fact that she took many young lovers even while in old age. This is proof positive that Gail Chord is comprised of Katherine the Great, even though we make her look like a crazy paranoid. Katherine the Great's Japanese ancestry, restricted to the genealogical files. I would like to say something regarding my brain-to-brain loving. 98% of my brain-to-brain loving is with Brent Spiner. So if you want to say I'm a whore, he's getting most of my attention. I've been doing a little bit more for Vladimir Putin, but the rest of the guys on my marriage list, I'm practically ignoring them. I mean, because I don't feel comfortable about having brain-to-brain sex with a bunch of men at the same time. And this was not my idea to have 40 men on my marriage list. That was Brent Spiner and Vladimir Putin's idea because they were worried they were going to get killed off by the Jesuits. And they consider me very important in this. They're as passionate as I am about defeating the Jesuits. And they wanted to make sure that the war continued even if they were knocked off. So that's why they created the marriage list. These are all men who are as passionate as I am about fighting Jesuits. So that's why they created the marriage list. It's just, these are backup husbands. In other words, I'm not really married to them now. The only men I really consider myself married to are Brent Spiner and Vladimir Putin, but they're backup husbands, so that if the Jesuits succeed in killing my current husband, I've got a backup. And I'm committed to the men on my marriage list. Those are the only men I'll marry. And right now, the one who's getting most of my time is Brent Spiner, because he was first. Brent and I had our relationship in 1991, and it's been solid ever since. And even during the time when we were only friends and I lost my romantic feelings for him from 1996 to 1999, we were still very good friends. So the relationship has never been totally cut off. It's always continued in one form or another since 1990, about 1990 to now, with me and Brent Spiner. Okay, let's see what else is on this website here. Let's go to current events. No, let's go to recent changes. Check out this website. It's loaded. It's got all sorts of things in it, and they may change it. They're known. They did that with the other website that we uncovered. Nah. Let's go to main page. I'll read up on what they have to say about me. I'm one of their targets. Gail Chord Schuler. A lot of this is repetition from the previous, though. Now they've got me heartless killer of infants. She told Vladimir to push the button without a look of regret on her face. She calls us the murderers, but she doesn't have to look at the carnage she has wrought. Hey, that's nothing compared to the carnage you're going to bring about if you have a nuclear holocaust, Jesuits. Don't preach at me, you hypocrites. And boy, do I feel sorry for you when you meet God at the judgment, because he's going to judge you for your motives, and your motives stink. You are going to use that underwater city to launch a nuclear holocaust. You even admitted it yourself on this website. Her love life. Let's read this here. Despite our meddling, Gail Chord Schuler has obtained 2 famous and powerful husbands. That's Brent Spiner and Vladimir Putin. The passionate love these 2 men share for Gail has proved to be our biggest obstacle yet. Should these 2 men ever meet with Gail, the results could be catastrophic. So far, we have successfully kept society from knowing about her relationships with these men by assigning Jesuit agents to pose as their real lovers. We have fabricated stories, photos, and documents. Boy, that's what I've been trying to tell people at my website and on my YouTube videos, and they're admitting it themselves. We have fabricated stories, photos, and documents about their relationships, and in the case of Vladimir, created false extramarital affairs. In order to fool the world at large into thinking both of these men are happily taken by more appropriate, famous, less Jewish women. We have built and assigned 2 women for this task, Lori McBride and Ludmila Putin. Aside from Brent Spiner and Vladimir Putin, Gail has engaged in telepathic relationships with a number of equally powerful men. From what we have been informed, is in fact a secret marriage list. A list of famous men organized by Vladimir and Brent, should either of them ever be eliminated by our agents. These men will all die for Gail, and potentially all of them could prove treacherous obstacles in our plans to sabotage her life. Then they go into germ warfare, and I've already read Candide on another another YouTube video. Gail's uncanny knowledge of how color personalities work has thrown wrenches into our operations many times. That's because I've exposed the fact that the Ludmila woman that Vladimir Putin parades around with is not Larissa, the woman he married in 1983, because Larissa was a summer and Ludmila's an autumn. So, due to Gail's unabated actions to leak the truth through her writings, website, and YouTube channel, she continues to be our biggest threat and remains our #1 target. Boy, do I know it, too. When I go out the door, they all jump on me. We will stop at nothing to prevent her from meeting with her powerful husbands and revealing our plans to the world. This situation is not to be underestimated. Okay. Anyways, they say Gail is currently running a website where she claims it looks like she spent over $100,000 worth of work on it. I never said that, Jesuit, you liars. But we suspect she is lying. Why would I want to lie about something like that? I only spend about $12 a month on the website. But it looks like I spent maybe $10,000. That's why. Don't misquote me. I didn't say $100,000, Jesuit. Don't lie. Where she posts her correspondence between her and her men. Her life story and funny cat pictures. I don't have any funny cat pictures. They're deliberately lying in some sections here. You can find it here. Feel free to browse it and get acquainted with her deranged Protestant mind. Also, be sure to check out her YouTube channel here, where she spouts blasphemy and dances half naked while singing to songs from Brent Spiner's CD. We must all do our best to put an end to her YouTube channel. It allows her to communicate with her adulterous lovers, as well as advertise our main site, which we don't want. And Lori McBride rapes Brent Spiner? And you're going to get on me about adultery? When you got a rapist in your camp? Oh, please. And a murderer? Please spare me, Jesuits, you hypocrites.